How's it going, my fellow parents? I'm here with you, these awesome parents who I love. I love being in your life. And I'm sitting here across this Zoom screen with a man I love, Jordan. Today we're gonna tell some good stories. We're gonna do some good stuff together. Are you ready?
I'm so ready. We've already learned so much, and oftentimes we're trying to figure out how the heck we could get through to our kids, or more importantly, like you say, get through to ourselves, right? Like
Yeah.
it's really about us figuring out how we are parenting that ultimately will be reflected on how our kids are acting. But we have yet to really answer the question of what if we do all that, Sean,
Yeah.
and then the kid doesn't respond back?
Right.
What if
Right.
they don't talk to us?
Oh,
And we keep trying, but they don't do it?
super common.
Or, we have these sessions that you tell us about. Let's do one-on-one time. Let's have
Yeah.
some me time
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah.
Let's talk. And then they just are like, I don't know.
I
I don't
don't
know.
know. I don't know.
I don't know.
It's so
So
painful.
today we're going to basically kind of break down what it means when our children shut down. Okay,
Yes.
ultimately let's break that down. What does it mean when they're shutting down? What is happening? And then we're of course going to ask the family coach, how do we break that cycle? And then
Yes.
of course I'm going to be me and be like, okay, Sean, let's be real. Like that stuff doesn't work. Okay, like
Yeah.
come on. Let's and so I'm going to ask even more like, what if it doesn't work?
Yep.
What are we supposed to do if we're in a year now
Mm-hmm.
and they're still not talking to me? And you're going to help us kind of filter through
Yeah,
all
or
that.
a year. Yeah. What if a week? What if you use these fancy tools that Sean's given me on the podcast and they still don't work? Yes. Good news. There's more tools for that. More tools for that. Before we do, just let me open up our show with a little nice email I got from one of our listeners named Scott Maskwell. He emailed us and he said, "Hey, Sean, I love your content. I've become addicted to your podcast. I'm a hardworking father who wants to be 100% involved in my children's upbringing. And I manage my own company. I love the outdoors. And funny enough, I also have a degree in meteorology. Jordan and I should geek out a little more about the weather. It's so great that you and Jordan are doing
That's
this
awesome.
amazing work. I see myself in both of you and what I've learned. I'm now a better father today." Oh, thank you, Scott, for those kind words. And for not
Scotty,
shutting down or
that's
hiding your
awesome.
feelings from us, because that is a big part of what shutting down is about. It's about having this
Mhm.
vivid, vibrant life inside, lots of thoughts, lots of emotions, and they don't share it. And that's why we had kids in the first place, to share life with them, to mentor them, to make memories, right? We didn't have kids just to produce these
Yeah.
robots. Like, this is a super common topic, Jordan, like extremely common nowadays in
Well,
2024.
I mean, you would think that it has everything to do with the technology we have,
It's a
right?
huge
Shutting down
factor.
is so
Huge
easy.
factor.
Like even adults, like
I
it's
know.
it's weird. Like the story you told a couple podcasts
Mm,
ago where you called your buddy down the road to say, "Hey, are you
mm,
okay? We're in a power outage." And he's like, "Why are
yeah.
you calling?"
Right.
It's like nowadays people just want to text. They want to be avoidant of a
Right.
conversation, and
Right.
it's happening in our kids. It's like, dude, let's talk.
I know. I say this to my wife all the time. I was like, she's having an issue with one of our friends or her friends. Like, well, can we just call her? And she'll say,
Right.
no, 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 we just text. Or she doesn't like, my friend doesn't
That is
like
so
phone calls. We just
weird.
like text. I was like, what? Like, you're right. It's, these screens have just changed what it means to be a human being. And then we're talking about, yeah, of course, when we were all growing up, of course we had kids, we shut down, we quiet, we withdrew, we avoided. But now when you add in all these screens and you add in COVID and what these kids have
Mhm.
been through of like being even more separated from each other physically, this is like a super challenging topic for a lot of parents, man. Lots of pain, lots of pain.
I mean, it is easier to send the text because you're not dealing with that emotion.
Mm-hmm.
You're just dealing with words on a
Yeah,
screen.
man.
But I think what we need to do is like you're going to probably teach us is we got to get back to like face to face interaction so
Mm-hmm.
we can understand what the other party is saying so we can come to an agreement or whatever it is. Why and get to the why. My
Yeah.
thing is get to the why are you
Get the why.
shutting down?
Yeah.
Why are you not talking?
Yeah. Now I like the why. And let's start off the show by talking about the why, because I think it's important to know the why. And I think you should ask yourself, when I'm shutting down, when I'm not talking to somebody, why am I doing that? What's going on inside of me?
Because it's easier,
Yeah, it sure is.
right?
It makes me feel good when right. I
Yeah.
call myself a
You just forget it.
recovering avoider. But also, it's important to know why. Why is my child doing this? Why is my child not opening up to me? Like, it almost reminds me of lying. So people call me, and they, clients to say, "How do I get my kid to stop lying to me?" And they really don't like what I say. My first response, they could guess. What is one of my first responses that I say? Hey, take a guess. It's not popular.
Um,
Okay, yeah, I guess I give
tell
you
them it. Oh,
give
geez,
you
I
a
don't
hint.
know.
Yeah,
So what I do is I say, hey, listen, and you could tell me I'm completely wrong with this, but when my kids lie, I say, hey guys, listen, I know you're gonna lie to me.
yeah,
Okay, I get it.
yeah.
I don't want you
Uh-huh.
to. I'm not in charge of what you're going to say. I want you to be able to tell me the
Yeah,
truth. I understand you're gonna want to hide things from me because it's
I like
easier
it.
and it's
It's
you're scared
it's
you're gonna get in
great
trouble.
parenting.
But
Yeah,
if you are telling me the truth, you're not gonna get in trouble no matter what
it's
it
great
is. So
parenting.
that's what I say.
Yes.
But I don't know
No,
what you
that's
say. What do you
incredible
say?
parenting because what you're doing in there is you're elevating the emotional safety. But what I normally say is something like this is normally if you have a lying situation, it says more about the parents than it does the child. Like if it's a super serious long-term lying situation, it says more about how the parents have struggled to produce emotional safety between them and the child. And now the outcome is that their child is tempted to lie. Now, that's not like a fact, right? It's just a
Okay.
proverb. Like that is true.
Yes.
But
Yeah,
it
and
does
that makes
provoke
sense when
people,
you think
right? But
about
this
that.
is the same thing I want to say about this episode. Like if you have a child who's continuously shutting down from you, withdrawing, avoiding you, it might say more about you as the parent than the child. That's kind of what I'm going with this. What do you think about that? Is that too edgy or
Right.
is it you with me?
I mean, I get what you're saying, and I'm just thinking of like cases when I was a kid and I lied to my mom or my
Yeah.
dad. A lot of the times it's because I didn't want to hurt them,
Hmm. Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Let's say you've got a parent
Yeah.
that's like, listen, you cannot have a single sip of alcohol. It has ruined my
Oh,
entire
yeah.
life.
Yeah.
You will literally be killing me if you do that. And then you as a
Yeah.
kid are just experiencing
Yeah.
life and want to know what this is. Of course you're going to
Yeah,
come to your
man.
parents and say, "No, I didn't do it. I
Yeah, for
promise,"
sure. Yeah, because you're trying to. Yeah,
because I
you're
don't want to
trying to.
hurt them.
Yeah, that's a really. Yeah, so let's. So yeah, there's gonna be some overlap. I'm not trying to overlap or connect lying or avoidance, even though you actually could. You actually could. You can even throw in people pleasing, and all these same things could be done for
Yeah,
this
that's
same
true.
thing. So let's go down. I have a little list of why does a child
Okay.
shut down, and I want to just read this list with us. We kind of have three different like sections of the show, and I'm just here
Hmm.
to help put some tools in everyone's toolbox. Sound good?
So the why. Why are our kids shutting down? What you
Okay,
got
the
for
first
us?
reason is this is a totally normal human coping skill. So normal. This is what we do,
Yep.
right? Fight, flight, or freeze. People we all struggle with freezing and flighting, right? There's actually a new one now,
Isn't it
fawn.
funny too?
Yeah. Yeah, fawn
Fawn.
is
What
like
is fawn?
it's like a people pleasing type thing or like a nurturing. Like instead of fighting this person, instead of running away, instead of freezing, they're like
Okay.
people pleasing.
You're
Oh, okay.
just
I'm
yeah.
really sorry. I'm really sorry. I'll do better. Or how can I help you feel better? Oh, you want a sandwich? Right? Fawning type thing.
I hate it when like when someone asks me something and I'm like, and it's like the littlest
Hmm.
thing, and then I
Yeah.
lie, and then I'm like, well, shoot, like, like for instance, you started a new job, and someone comes up to you like, hey, Sean, do you remember my name? You're like, yeah, sure. And, well, what's my name? You're like, dang it, I totally got caught in a lie. I
Yeah,
don't know
man.
your name. I'm
Yeah.
so sorry. And you're just like, why did I
Yeah.
lie? I don't have to. Why is that our first response? Like
Right.
to
Yeah. Because
lie?
yeah, we it's all we're pausing. It's totally makes sense. Now you have as you listen to this, everybody, you got to ask yourself, okay, this is normal, but is this right? And the answer is
Right.
no. We do not want to raise a child who shuts down. We want to raise a child who, yeah, there's boundaries between us and the child, but the child does open up with us, talks with us, shares their life, shares their dreams, shares their feelings, shares their fears. That makes sense. Doesn't that sound like a normal human child parent relationship? Am I being weird or asking
Yes.
too much?
No, you're
No.
not. No, you're being
Right.
real.
And
I
being
love it.
normal. Like
Okay.
some people
Yes.
say, oh, kids will be kids. My
Yes.
teenagers talk to me 2 years. That's normal. I would be like,
Right.
no. Who
Right.
that's
That's not
might
normal.
feel normal to you because you live with that every day, but that's not the way it's supposed to be. Reason number two, why is your child, why is a child or a teenager shut down? Is they're just confused. They don't know what they feel, and they don't know how to
Mm,
articulate it, and it's just safer to shut it down. Makes
okay.
sense,
I guess that makes
right?
sense. Especially if they're younger, right? And they're still like learning about who they
Yeah,
are.
yeah. Now this one is number three reason is I've seen this. This is really applicable to some parents. Some parents, let's say you're a mom and you pick up your kid from school and you're like, hey, how was school?
Yeah.
Or how was practice?
Right.
Or let's say you pick up your
Right.
son and you have a split home and you pick up your son from your, the mother's house, the ex house. Hey, how was it over there? I'm like, no, fine. Well, I mean, tell me about
Yeah.
it. Fine.
Yeah.
What they're actually doing is they're not
Yeah.
shutting down. It's just on a timeout. They're just not ready to talk.
Right. They're just
Yeah,
decompressing,
it
maybe.
just feels like they're shutting down or withdrawing because of your own luggage, your own baggage. But this needs to be said. If you're going to have a show on shutting down and on like shutting someone out or avoiding them or not talking to them, you've got to acknowledge this, that for some parents, it's them, it's not the child.
So would this be the same case similarly too, as like you get home from a long day at work and your spouse like, how was work? And you're like, I haven't even had a chance to
Exactly.
like comprehend
Totally. Yeah.
work yet. Like I don't know. Yeah,
It means
okay.
like,
That makes sense.
yeah, you
Totally.
just,
It's like I don't want
you
to talk
haven't
about it
got
right now.
into a flow. You haven't asked your kid, hey, do you like talking about these things right when I pick you up from school? Or hey, what would be a
Right.
good time for us
Right.
to connect? Number four. Number four is something that
Okay.
we've already
Okay.
alluded to is that the reason why your child shuts down around you, doesn't talk with you, doesn't open up, is because they feel unsafe. They feel afraid in your relationship and scared
Scared.
of being
Yeah.
judged, scolded.
Sure.
Maybe they're just afraid of that intimacy. They're afraid of
Okay.
uh,
Getting
getting
close. Yeah.
close. They're afraid of
Yep.
it coming out messy. They're afraid of feeling like I'm a bad person. I did something wrong. I'm weird. I'm broken. I needed help. They're afraid of being exposed as a human being. How normal does that sound?
It's just so interesting that how so many of our kids and us are like that. Like
Right?
we build
I
these
know.
walls and it's so weird.
It's so weird. It's so us though. It's human beings.
Like my son doesn't even like saying goodbye to
Right.
people after they've been hanging out for
Right.
days because he just doesn't want to feel like maybe sad that they're leaving. He's just like, I don't know. I'm just gonna ignore it.
Yeah, that's
Like,
isn't that
dude,
interesting?
go say bye. No, I don't want
Isn't
to.
that interesting? I was
Okay.
working with a
Yeah,
young
it is
man and his
interesting.
mother just like an hour ago in a private session. And he was saying, you know what? I feel like my life is kind of like a Jenga board, and I don't want anyone coming to touch my pieces. And if they give me even advice on my pieces, it's like I feel like then I didn't do it myself. And I was like, first of all, that's a brilliant
Huh.
analogy. I love what you
Analogy.
said.
Yeah,
It's
that's a
very
good analogy.
articulate. But it makes you
But
wonder,
how are you
where does this
supposed to
come up?
like
Where do we come up with this stuff? We're so protective of being vulnerable. We don't want to get hurt. We don't want to hurt. We don't want to get hurt. I think that's the answer to all these questions.
it's like our defense mechanism of
Yeah.
like seeing all like think about it as an adult and getting a phone call from a random number. Oh, scammer. Oh, they're gonna want
Yes,
it's
we
like we
know.
know that the human being can be
Yes.
terrible. It's just interesting that we can already feel that as a
Mm,
kid. Like
you
you
know.
already know
Oh my
that you could be
gosh.
hurt by
I
others.
feel like we're not changing the subject of today's episode, but at least what I'm feeling is like where this episode is going. It's not about the title is going to be called something like how to parent the avoidant child or how to respond when your child shuts down. But you know what is actually we're talking about right now is why are we human beings so afraid of getting hurt? And why do we put walls
Right.
up with people effing constantly? I do it, you do it, we all do it. We're all just me and you are just
Yeah.
relating right now. We're like we thought we were talking
Right.
about kids, but now we're talking about ourselves.
This is a
I
therapy
am. I'm
session for
learning
us
something
because we're
right
just like,
now.
I think it's as an what I'm trying to say is as an adult, it's more understanding as to
Right.
why we do it because we see other people hurt other people all the time. But as a kid, it's like that's already
Yes.
ingrained
So
in us.
interesting.
And it's like, why is that art as a
So
kid? Like
interesting.
you're not sharing mine. Like
You're
you're already to it's like
already,
selfish.
gosh.
I don't want to talk to you. But yet, how do you thrive as a community? You have a
You
community. You
have
have
to
others
thrive with
around
other
you. You
humans.
build
You
a
have to.
family,
Well, even the
right?
why, like I have 12 reasons why people shut down. That's a lot, dude. Like usually you should have 3
It is a
points.
lot.
You know what I mean? Like I got 12 because this is it.
Yeah.
Let's go on to the next one. Okay, number 6. This is very, very serious. If you have someone in your life who regularly shuts down in front of you, does not open up, withdraws, one word answers, number 6 is probably what's going on. And you may not like to hear this. That this is a symptom of a deeper issue. And what's the deeper issue? It's a symptom that this relationship is not healthy. There's something off. There's something off. This is not the way it's supposed to be.
And everyone listening right now, they may have already found themselves in this category of like, shoot, this is why my kid is
Yeah.
acting this
Yeah.
way,
Yeah.
and it makes us feel
Hmm.
weird, and awkward. I hope my kids don't feel like they're a part of, a broken, unhealthy relationship.
But if
But
yeah,
it's hard to be, let's be honest, it's
it
hard to have a
is.
healthy relationship, right? That's why
And
so
I
many
just
people
want
are
to I
listening to
want you to have
this.
hope. If your relationship is hurting right now, fractured, have hope. Whether your kid is 2 or 22,
Yeah.
there are skills. There is professional help. I'm here for you. There's ways to heal relationships. There's ways to get people to talk and to open up. And I'm here to give you a little starter set and tools for that. All right, so here's the next one. One of
Thank
the
you.
things I hear
Thank you.
that you hear me talk about, I love to talk about this. I love to talk about the dehumanization of the parent figure, of how
Oh, your favorite channel, Disney.
about how that happens in Disney Channel, and it happens all around.
Yes.
Parents
All
are
cartoon, a lot of
idiots.
cartoons. Yeah.
My parents are lame.
Yep.
They have no feelings.
Right.
The main way I talk about it is not through Disney Channel, but I feel like the main way I talk about it is how we dehumanize ourselves. When we yell, when we snap, when we abuse alcohol, when we abuse screens, we don't show our kids our vulnerability. We don't share our feelings with our kids. We just give these lectures. Charlie Brown parents. We do that to ourselves, dog.
Yeah. Well, we're trying to help, and we think that's the best way to do it. Obviously, it's not. It's not the best way to do it.
Are you ready for
It's
number
not
8?
working.
Okay, number 8 is something
Yeah.
that I'm able to diagnose over the phone within like 5 minutes. It's a term that I use to help parents understand their kid. Why does your kid shut down or around you or around others? It's called an anxietal defiance. All right, Jordan, when you hear that term anxietal defiance, what comes to mind for you?
Like, to me, it just feels like it's that excuse that everybody uses these days. Like, I can't do this. I have social blah, blah, blah anxiety. I can't do this. I've got FOMO anxiety. I can't do this. I can't talk on the phone because I've got this anxiety. It's like we're all anxious about anything, it seems like. So it's like anytime our tummy starts to bubble up with some butterflies, like, I can't do it. I can't do it. Is
Yeah.
that what that means?
Yeah, honestly, it is what it means. It wasn't the very nicest way of describing that because you're actually talking about someone's child right now. But
Yeah,
that
but
is what
let's
it
be
means.
real. Like, why
It
why
is.
are we coming at why are we creating excuses for everybody? It's like,
Yeah,
let's just
yeah, you're
put
right.
the next pant leg on and go.
On one hand, I totally agree. This is a serious societal issue. Is kids have and young people having anxietal defiance, which means I have anxiety. Mom, dad, this is real, and I need you to now listen to me and do what I need you to do because I'm the one who has problems. I'm not going to go to school because I have anxiety. It's too stressful. I'm not going to do the dishes because I don't want to because I'm going through my own personal struggles. It's a manifestation of defiance. Because if you think about defiance, when we were growing up, you're talking about like, you know, doing drugs, smoking, drinking, breaking the
Mhm.
law. But now this is
Mhm.
a very popular form of defiance, is what I see all the time with my clients. Anxiety defiance. And good news, there's hope for that. But that's just another reason why a kid shuts down.
Okay, let's move past this one because it's making me mad already. What's the last
But
two
then you
got?
got regular defiance, right? Remember, the best way to understand defiance, whether it be a serious issue in your house or like an issue that pops up, like, no, I'm not going to do the dishes. No, I'm not going to
Sure.
do that. I
Right.
won't listen to you. And
Right.
the best way to understand defiance, even though it will get under your skin, is that this is a symptom of a disconnected child,
Okay.
or a disconnected relationship. So oftentimes just taking that 30 to 60 seconds with your young child can actually restart and take away the defiance. And that works more effectively than a punishment or yelling or a reaction. But yeah, this episode
You're
is
so
really about
good, man.
a
I'm so glad we have
long-term.
you.
Thanks, man. But this episode isn't about short-term anxiety. This is about like an avoidant child who's got a patterns
Okay.
of avoiding and shutting down. Right. So defiance, that makes sense. Reason number
Yes.
10 is something every human being I know, including me, struggles with, is selfishness. They don't want to open up. They don't want to share. They don't want to share their life. Why? They have the ability to. They share it with their friends. They go to middle school and they're the most popular kid. They go to high school and they share with their best friends. It's just
Uh-huh.
that they don't care about their parents' feelings. They're just being selfish.
Yeah.
They think like, I don't need to do that because I don't want to do that. And that is a serious topic, don't you think?
Yes, it is. No.
Selfishness.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see a bunch of kids, throughout my years, high school specifically, I would be just like that. It's like they
Yeah.
act like a jerk to their parents and they're the coolest kids, to their
Right.
friends. And it's the weirdest thing.
Yeah. All right. I got two more, and this is pretty serious. Jordan, did you know that if you type in the words "I'm done" into Instagram, and then you can click and you can see how many people have posted a picture with the hashtag "I'm done." You can see how many people have hashtagged a photo. Were you aware of that? How that's how
No, is it like
hashtag
I'm
works?
done with Instagram?
No, just hashtag I'm done.
Oh, just like
1.4
anything.
million posts. That's a lot.
I'm done.
I'm
I'm
done.
done.
Let
Oh,
me
work
read you.
today. Hashtag I'm done. Okay.
Here's what's become normal in 2024 is it's healthy to set up boundaries with people. And we want to set up boundaries with our family members. But what is very popular on social media is not boundaries. It's walls. I'm done. I'm not going to try to work this out with you because you're toxic. You're
Yeah.
toxic. You're
Yeah.
bad. You don't bring any joy into my life. I'm done. I'm shutting you down. So we
Right.
have a generation of kids who think it's normal and okay and even healthy just to cut their parents out of their lives, cut their own siblings out of their lives. Just snip, quote, I'm done. Did you know this is like a thing?
I think it makes sense because, we say you're supposed to get rid of the toxic people in your life, but I also think that some people might be using that as an excuse to
They
go
do.
deep with the people who you actually love and who love you, right? So it's like if I
Mm-hmm.
just move on and
Right.
eliminate this weight, I
Right.
feel lighter and I'm a feather and I can kind of
Right.
bounce around,
Right.
but
Yeah.
then you're not really
Right.
attached to anything. Like they say, you're
Right.
not growing roots, right? Like a tree, you're
Yeah,
not becoming stable.
exactly. Yeah, it's like a way of like fight, flight, freeze, fawn. It's like a way of making flight sound poetic, sound healthy, sound beautiful, but it's flight. It's a form of avoidance.
Hmm.
It's a trauma. It's a trauma like thing, right?
It's
It's like
easier just to escape. I mean, think about all the apps right now, the dating apps. To fly,
uh,
all you have to do is swipe, and then you're
right.
flying on to the next one. It's crazy.
Here's this. I could find us 100 of these Instagram posts. Here's just one. I literally took 5 seconds to find it. It may not even be the best one. Okay, Whispering Sound posted this. It's got
Whispering
33
sound.
likes. Reality check. Losing them wasn't a loss. It was a win. If they cheated, treated you like beep, constantly lied, or made you feel like you weren't enough, be thankful they're no longer in your life. On one hand, it's like, yeah, maybe you're
Yeah,
upset, maybe you're moody,
sure.
maybe you're a 17
Right.
year old and you're going through something, you're going to like that. But when people apply that to their family members, their own
Yeah.
parents, is
Right.
that is that the way we're supposed to be as humans? Is that loving?
No. Or their spouses? No, not at all.
Right. Or just give up on somebody because you don't
So,
like the way they're treating you? You know?
going through all these reasons. Was that your last one, by the
No, I
way?
have one more. And then
Okay,
one
go one more,
pretty
and I got
serious. It's
I have something
trauma.
I want to ask.
Now, I did say the word trauma because now this is a legit, like essentially fight, fight, freeze is a trauma response. It's like you feel like you're in danger. And so
Hmm.
this is a medically proven thing that our kids are doing. If they've been through trauma with you or with someone
Hmm.
else, or even ACEs, adverse childhood experiences, they might do this because it's just a trauma response. It doesn't mean it's healthy. It's not good for them. It's a symptom that there's a deeper issue of unhealed trauma, and this needs to be addressed. And that's super serious what we're talking about. Tell me your thoughts on these 12 reasons of why.
Ridiculous stuff.
It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Why'd you say ridiculous? It is ridiculous.
It's
Is
ridiculous that we have 12 of them. But you know what?
at
It's good
least.
because at least because anyone listening right now could put maybe their kid in one of these categories. Even my kids, I wouldn't say shut down
Mhm.
much if at all, but they could
Yep.
still fall into some of these categories and I get it. And so we just try our best as parents to talk through that, to parent through that so that it doesn't happen. One of the things you've always taught us is like you would rather teach them when they're 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7
Mhm.
about just opening up about dumb stuff so that when the heavy stuff comes, they're
Yeah,
more
man.
open to be open. It's
Yeah.
starting off when they're
Yeah.
older, it's a lot harder, but it can still work.
Yeah, buddy. How about you? Got any personal stories? of your present, your past, of how you have been around someone and they just kind of stonewalled you. They gave
Yeah.
you one word answers. They avoided
Yeah.
you. They just shut it down. Would you mind telling us a
I
story
mean,
and I'll tell you a
so
story?
I have some family. I just visited a bunch, and one
Okay.
of my family members, it's just so hard to get through to him. I'm just like,
Mm, mm,
there's just nothing there. It's and
mm.
so I do my best to ask about silly, dumb things, so he opens up more, right?
Yeah,
I'm just
yeah,
like, yeah, like
yeah.
just silly things. And I had
Okay.
another family member
Yeah.
come to me and say, hey, I try to talk to my son, but I just can't get through to him. It's like
Hmm.
he won't talk to me, and
How
it was
how
about
old
like
how old is the boy?
junior, senior in high school,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and he's in a relationship that the parents don't necessarily agree with,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
well, not necessarily not agree with, but in a relationship,
They're having
and
problems
they
with it.
just
Yeah, they're
they want to
concerns.
know more,
Yeah, they want to be in the loop.
they
Yeah,
want to be in the loop,
I
but
know about that. I know about that.
their kids not talking to them about it,
Yeah,
and
man.
my advice was like, well, hey, have you ever sat and really tried? He's like, yeah, I try all the time. I try to hear, and I'm like, well, have you ever opened up yourself about maybe your relationship with his
Mhm.
parents, like what it was like,
That's good.
at a different stage of life, and let him
Yeah.
see that, there were challenges and this and that. And he's like, no. I'm like, well, maybe you start with, if you want him to open up, maybe you open up and just say, this is what it was like. And then he'll take that in. And over time, he might be like, okay, now it's time for me to open up to you.
That's
And
good.
so he was like, that's some great idea. That's a great idea. I'm going to try that. And I haven't asked since
Yeah.
he's tried that,
Do you think
but
maybe you'll send him this episode if it's
no,
good?
I don't think so. No,
Oh,
I don't.
too much.
Maybe I will.
Yeah,
Maybe
too
I will.
much.
I
Yeah,
don't know.
yeah, yeah.
But I just hope
Yeah.
that they can get into an open relationship, and
Yeah,
I
me
see
too.
that with my kids and my wife, and it's so great. It's harder for guys too. It's just
It
harder
is.
for us to
It
to
is.
to open up.
I think that's biological, but maybe it's not biological. I just know it's cultural. I know, at least for me, it's cultural. As far as what's biological, that's for someone smarter than us to talk about. Yeah, I think for me, thanks for sharing that. Like, it's painful to say this, man, but when I think about the people in my life who just kind of shut down or avoided me, avoided conversations, I just think about myself, man. That's what I did to people. That's what I did to my wife for a long time. Partly why I'm here on this podcast and why I do what I do and why I'm so passionate about it is because I've come a long way, from where I
Yeah.
was when I was younger. I was really wounded and had some problems, and I didn't want to sit in that. I didn't want to go through my life being a hurt person who hurt people and just shutting my wife out because I didn't want to talk with her or because I didn't have the skills or all those 12 reasons that I just said.
Right.
And I even think about this too. You might even know this story. I was very close to my high school friends growing up. We actually got matching tattoos senior year of high school. We have
Your
tattoos.
parents allowed that?
Well,
I guess maybe
I
you
just
didn't ask
did.
for
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I just
You
did my own thing. Yeah, there's like 8 dudes out there. We have the same tattoos. I love these guys. And we all lived to each other in our early 20s. And then one day, long story short, very long story, very, very short, I moved out. And I didn't really tell them why. And I didn't open up with them. And it was about 10 years later, I wrote each of them a letter saying how sorry I was. And I love them. And I'm very sorry I just avoided that hard conversation, that hard season of life. I didn't step into the tension as much as I wish I did. And they handled it super cool. And I was like, hey, if you still want to be, have a relationship with me, then call me. And most of them called me and were like, yeah, man, we understood why you moved out. You didn't need to say anything. But I felt like, you know what? Hurt people hurt people. And I feel like I've hurt a lot of people by avoiding them and just shutting down. And I regret that.
But so I a lot of us can relate to that story, but I want to go back to that story and ask 10 years. Okay, so you were in your 20s.
Yeah.
Sometimes don't you think it takes the second party, in this case, your friends,
Yeah.
to be mature enough to understand your reasoning? So it's like if you came to them in that moment and gave them your answer as to why you moved out, would they be mature enough to be receptive of it? Or did it take that 10 years for them to mature up to then be like, you know what, that was a good call? Because in that moment, I feel like sometimes the other party can't even see why we're doing what we're doing if we have to make a change.
Really like what you said, but you're missing a major factor here. I didn't have the guts, man. I didn't have.
I know.
They're not
I
psychic.
know.
Yes.
I'm
Would they have
trying to.
handled it well? Yes. They would have handled it very well. It would have been very painful for everyone involved, especially me.
Yeah.
And I didn't want to face the pain.
Yeah.
I just said, peace out. I'm moving out and getting my own place. And that was that, man. And it was just
You quit,
horrible.
but at
I
least you
quit
went
it.
back.
10 years later, I didn't invite them to my own wedding because I didn't want to deal with the drama and the pain and with what I had done. It was just mean and it was not okay. Hurt people, hurt
So
people.
hurt people. That's right. So we want to get into Ask the Family Coach now and
Let me tell
how
you a
to
story.
get.
Before you do, I want to tell you a story. Something just came up for me.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. All right.
So there's people listening to this, and if you have someone in your life who is struggling with avoidance, another parent, co-parent, I really encourage you to send them this episode, and it's for this part right here of this might be the most important part of this episode. Jordan, I'm gonna put you in a situation, and I want everyone listening to make a decision here. I'm gonna ask you to do this game. You know, like sometimes middle school kids play that stupid game. It's like, would you rather? Like, would you
Yeah.
rather eat a whole bowl of snails or just keep worms in your mouth for 10 minutes? Like, and then you have to
Right.
choose between two really bad things. I'm gonna tell. Can you play a game of would you rather with me and choose between these two bad things? Okay.
Okay.
Option
Go for
one.
it.
I want you to think about someone in your life who you really like, you really love. You've got a deep bond with this person. And you and this person, for a variety of reasons, you get into a big argument, a big fight, and you are pissed. You are hurt, but they're pissed at you. They think they're right. You think you're right. And no one's like saying kind words, positive words. No one's making amends. Okay, you with me?
Mm-hmm.
And then all of a sudden you get let's put ourselves in a situation where we're physically around this person, like they're coworkers or it's Thanksgiving or you're a high school
Sure.
student and you pass each other in the hallways. All right. And then this person comes up to you and I guess sometimes I swear when I tell this story, but I think I'm not going to swear today for the storytelling, just because I don't want to put an E on this explicit, because some people don't like it, hearing swearing on a family show. So I'm not going to swear. And they're like, Jordan, what the hell, man? What the hell's your problem? You're laughing, dude. You're laughing. You're like, and you're like, what? Like, you know what? I'm sick of you, dude. You do this beep all the time. You're so freaking selfish. I can't believe you did this. You're out of place, man. You're an idiot.
Oh, no.
Everyone knows you're an idiot, too. I've known you're an idiot
no.
for 10 years, you Jackie. You dumb. Look at you, dude. That stupid smile. Why does your wife even like you?
That's happened to me a lot. Yep.
That's happened to you a lot. And then they just
people
go
say, look at that
off on
stupid
you.
smile. Wipe that stupid smile off your face.
They do. That what they say?
Oh,
that's
yeah,
one of
all
your
the time.
coping skills. That's one of your coping skills.
Yeah.
You smile. You
I'll
did
just
it
laugh at
actually.
I'll
You
just
did
be
it
like,
right here.
I'll just laugh at you.
Yeah.
Like,
That's
you're dumb for saying
that's
it.
good. Yeah. And then right here, so imagine you're a high school student and you know your best buddy is now raging at you in front of your friends or in front of the girl you like. Imagine your own family member is going off on you on Christmas dinner. Imagine it's your own spouse and they're just cussing at you, calling you names, degrading you, blaming you. This is a horrible feeling. Would you like that?
No.
Why
No,
not?
I'd hate that.
Why not?
Well, because it diminishes you. It makes you feel like you're inferior, and you either have two options in that moment. You can either be the one to stand up and, you know, let them know who's boss in that moment,
you can match that.
or you can, you know, be humble and keep your head down
Yeah.
and apologize, put your tail between your legs, right, and let them, you know, verbally beat you up that way. So
Fight, flight,
no
freeze,
one
or
wants to
fawn.
be in
So
that.
you're talking about, you
Yeah.
can fight back. You can match that energy.
Fight back.
Do it. You can fawn it. Yeah, it's a horrible feeling. So option one or option two? Here's ready for option two.
Mhm.
Okay. Option two, let's just imagine, let's say it's, you know, a relative or like somebody close to you. And you see him at Thanksgiving. And you're like, hey, I want to talk to you about what happened. And they're like, nah. I was like, okay, we don't have to talk now. It's Thanksgiving. But I want to talk to you about what happened. No, man, I'm good.
Mhm.
No, we got to talk. You know what? F you. I'm not talking. So then
Mhm.
a couple days pass and you text them. Hey, I know that probably wasn't the best time to bring that up at, you know, Easter dinner, but can we talk about what happened? I'm really pissed off about this. And then they text back and they say, who dis? Who dis? You're like, this is me. It's Sean. Oh, I deleted your number. What? Why? Because you're dead to me. Like, what are you talking about? I want to talk to you about what happened. Like, no, I'm done with it. I've already moved on. So then you wait another week or two and you give them a phone call. Say, hey, I'm really not feeling good about this. I don't know. Maybe I had a bad approach. I'm really upset about this. I know you're upset too. But can we please talk this out? It doesn't feel right. And they say, please stop calling me.
Right.
That's option 2. What would you choose?
I'm surprised you gave them three chances. It's
Why?
like after the second chance, you still saying no, then fine, screw you. I'm out too.
Okay, you're out. After
So,
2, you're out for 2.
I mean,
But
I'm out.
what would you choose after option A? Someone
I would say
cussing you out in your face,
right.
degrading
Probably
you.
option 2 because
Or
it's just
option
more
2,
personal. But yeah,
or
option
or
2.
option 2, the person ghosts you. They don't
Yeah.
talk to you. They don't ever give it a chance for conflict. You don't know how they feel. You don't know what they're upset about. You don't know their take. If you had to choose between those two, what would you rather have your friend that you care about, you love? How would you prefer them to respond?
Yeah, that's the key thing here. So if it was a very, very close friend
Yes.
that I wanted to keep,
It's a very
option
close
1, because you want to be able to fix it. But if it was like a somewhat friend, then option 2 is easier because it's more intimate.
No,
You're
this
not
is
getting,
this is a close friend.
then yes, then it's going to have to be option 1 because there's no movement with option 2.
What do you mean?
They keep avoiding, they keep saying no. There's no movement. They're not willing to put in the other 50, 100% that a relationship takes. By continuing to say, you're gone, you're dead to me, you're out, goodbye, you can only do so much without becoming a stalker. So it's like option 1 at least gives you the chance of them yelling at you, and you could at least apologize, probably not, explain yourself or whatever it is you need to do to remedy the relationship.
Jordan, next question. I've been telling this story for about 10 years. Why do about 90 to 94% of high school students, college students, and grown adult parents, why do they almost all
Option
choose
2?
option 1?
Oh, they choose option 1?
But that's what you chose.
I know, but I didn't think they were going to choose
No, everyone
option
chooses
1.
option 1. Why? You chose option 1. I choose option 1.
If it's a very close
everybody
friend,
chooses option 1. Why?
Because we can all understand what a close friend is, and that is a very meaningful, thing to have. There's only a few people you could probably count on your hands that you would willing to go to bat for, right?
Yeah.
Maybe to take a bullet.
Hopefully
for.
both hands.
And to lose one of those is a big deal.
It's a big deal. I think the reason why people choose option 1 is the reason I would choose it, because at least if someone's cussing you out, they're there. They're trying to work it out. There's a chance for reconciliation. There's a chance for healing. There's a chance for growing. There's a chance to learning. Maybe you were wrong. There's a chance of understanding another person who you love and you care about, right? Versus ghosting someone, it means #we're done. And I think that avoidance, stonewalling, and shutting down is one of the most meanest, wrongest things you can do to someone that you care about.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good. I mean, that needs to be said to a lot of us who think it's the easier thing to do. Just leave, right? Because it's not. So let's get into Ask the Family Coach time. People have been listening. They understand maybe the why their kids are doing this, but they want to know how to fix it. How do we get them to talk?
Now, I could go on and on with it. I do this with my individual clients and my VIP membership. I take these and I put these tools in people's toolboxes with a ton of success, but we're just going to have to go through them pretty fast. Hopefully not too fast. So slow me down if I go too fast. Okay. I got 10 tools for you. All right. Just like we had 12. Now we have 10. All right. Here.
Now we have 10.
First thing to do is before you talk to your child, you've got to talk to yourself. And here's what you say to yourself. I've got to regulate my own emotions. I've got to show up as a loving adult right now. This is very hard. This is why it's step 1. Take care of your own mind and your own emotions. What do you think about that?
It's so hard though when it's your kid, bro. Like
So
your
hard.
kid is stonewalling you or
Oh,
not talking
so
to you about
hard.
something super
So hard.
serious. You're just
So
like,
hard.
I'm gonna choke you right now. I mean, I'm saying this
Oh
metaphorically, of
my
course, but I'm
god. Oh my
like Homer
god.
Simpson to his son,
Yes. You're
wrangling him
oh my
out.
god, it's so true, dude. Oh, that was such a amazing. I was felt the tension. I didn't know what you're gonna say. I just feel so much more relaxed. You made me laugh. Homer
It's
Simpson
just
choking
yes,
Bart. Or you said your
choking
teen
Bart.
daughter, okay, you're not gonna talk to me. Well, guess what? You're never leaving this house again. You're never going to prom.
Right,
Oh yeah, you're going to boarding school. You're never gonna see that screen again. Right? We
right.
get so
Open up to me.
frantic. We get scared. We get anxious. We feel defiant. We feel disrespected. We feel shut out. We feel scared. We feel pissed off.
So we regulate our own emotions. They keep stonewall us. They keep, not talking to us,
Oh,
being avoidant. We're just like, okay, you got to tell yourself what? It's cool. I'm cool as a cucumber, even though you're not.
you got it. Yeah, you got
Is
it.
that
You
what?
got to take care of
Okay.
yourself so you can show up to be cool. No one wants to talk to you. Everyone wants to talk to a cucumber.
Yeah, that's
What
true.
would be the vegetable that no one wants to talk to? If everyone wants to talk to a cool cucumber, what do you not want to talk
Probably like Brussels sprouts. No one wants to talk to Brussels sprouts.
to? Dude,
Even though
they're
adults, those are
so
pretty good
good,
nowadays.
dude.
Not as kids though. They were
No, they are, but fried Brussels
eat your
sprouts with a
peas. No
little
one wants to
cheese
talk
on
to
top,
peas.
little aioli sauce,
Yeah,
dude.
that's good.
You know, how about like onions kind of tart, man, tangy. No one wants to talk to an
Yeah,
onion.
you don't want to eat that by itself.
Yeah, okay. So step 2, this all happens in your mind. This is very challenging. I just did a whole podcast on this actually. It's coming out hopefully soon. Step 2, accept them. This is challenging. Accept your circumstances.
Accept, but don't
not
don't.
enable.
Okay, or
Accept.
like understand it. Maybe yeah.
Here's how it
Maybe I guess
sounds.
accept
Here's
is
how
your
it sounds.
words, but like
Hey, do you want to?
understand, but don't accept.
Yeah, here's
like,
accept, but don't enable.
I know.
Here's some examples how this might sound. Hey, how was your school today? Fine. Hey, I'd love to talk with you more about it. Can you tell me about your friends or classes? No, that's fine. I don't want to talk. Just leave me alone. Okay, yes. You know what? This has been happening a lot between me and you, and I really don't know what's going on. But I just want you to know I accept this. I accept that in this season of life, you do not want to open up and talk to me. I don't know why, and I'm having a hard time with it, but I accept that this is what's happened between you and I. That could be one example of how to talk. A little bit weird, a little intense. Let me try another one. Okay. Oh, you don't want to talk? Okay. Well, I would really love to talk with you. If you don't want to talk right now, then I accept that. But let me know when we can talk because it's really important to me. See how this acceptance is a way for us to
that's better.
bring calmness over ourselves and over the
Yeah.
intensity of the conversation. Plus, if you don't want to talk to
That's
somebody,
better.
if they say, "Hey, I accept that you don't want to talk with me," let me know when you're ready. Can you see how that's actually like inviting?
Yeah, that's a much better way. I was thinking of like I have a friend come over. Hey, how's your kids? Oh, I don't know. They don't talk to me. Oh, really? Well, you don't know like anything about them? No, but I've accepted it. It's fine. It's fine.
That's why I have
You
a
know,
whole
like, no,
podcast
that's not
coming
good.
over about acceptance versus enabling, right?
Yeah.
And this
Yeah.
point
That's
3
good.
is actually similar to point 2. Use the word boundary and talk like this. Hey, I'd love to, how you're dating this new, guy. I'd love to hear about it. No, I don't really want to talk to you about it. Okay, why? I don't know. It's my private business and I don't want to. Okay. All right. Well, hey, I love you and I will honor that boundary. You must have a reason why. And so I know I didn't always want to
That's good.
open up to my parents when I was your age either. So that I'm sure that makes sense. There's your boundary and I honor it. Or how about this? Hey, what happened over there with you and your cousin? I don't know. It's my cousin. He hit me and then I hit him back. Okay, well, tell me what happened. No, I don't want to. Why not? Because I don't know. Okay, so you're not ready to talk about it. Yeah, I don't know. You know what? Okay, sounds like you're not ready, and I'll honor your boundary. I can't force you to talk. I would love to talk when you're ready. So please let me know when you're ready. I'm here. See how inviting that is? See, versus, let's do
That's much better than it's like, oh, okay. So I understand you don't want to talk about this. I'll honor your boundary, but just know when you step foot in my house, this is my personal boundary, and you are no longer allowed in this boundary. Like,
Or this, oh, you don't want to talk, you don't want to talk about your cousin? Well, all right. I don't accept that. You better open up right now. You got no boundaries,
right.
kid. You ain't getting no hot dog. You ain't no screens. You better open up and tell me. You can't be touching your cousin like that. Okay? Okay?
No, that's much more inviting the way you did it. That's
Right?
good.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You think you're gonna date somebody without telling me? Nope. Nope. That's not how we do it here. This is my house, my
Right.
rules. Open up, tell me. I want to know his social security number. I can't let you date someone. I need to know his social, and I need to know his 23 and me thing right now too.
That's good. No, the way you did it was much more accepting and
All right,
inviting.
here. This one's really deep. Oh, this is so good. Remember that their avoidance might say something about the relationship. So, tip number 4, inquire about the relationship. Here's why it might sound. Here, just do some. Can you do some role
Yeah,
playing
sure,
with me?
yeah.
Can you pretend to be? All right. So, hey, I'd love to hear. How the game went. Can you tell me about it?
Yeah, it was fine. It was a football game. It was good.
Okay. Well, I'd love to. Hear some details.
Yeah.
What
Well,
it was
we won.
like.
We won. It was 24-20. We won. It was great.
Okay. Well, can you tell me how did you play and tell me what did you do after the game? Just start shutting me down now. Shut me down.
Yeah, no, it was just like any other game, Dad. It was fine. There's nothing that stood out. It was easy game. We got the win.
Okay. All right. You know, we can talk about this now if you want or not, but I feel like there's this pattern in our relationship that I'm feeling pretty uncomfortable with, son.
Oh, you're feeling uncomfortable because I won't tell you how the game went? It's fine.
Yeah, because I want to know you, and we don't have to. I don't need to know every detail of the game or your life, but it makes me wonder, is there something going on between me and you?
No.
It's off.
No,
Did I hurt you?
no, Dad, you're fine.
Why won't you open up with me
Because
about
there's
these
nothing to
things?
say. It was no big deal. I got in a few
All right.
times.
All right. Well, can you just please think about that? Can you think deeply about, is there something going on? Did I cross the line? Did I hurt you? Why haven't you? It's all of a sudden, the last 2 months, it's you stopped sharing things with me, and it makes me wonder, what's going on between me and you? Okay, pause. Because
Yeah, because maybe I was gonna go with, yeah, if you would have showed up, you would have seen how I played, because it could have
oh, you would
it
have,
could
you
have
would
it
have,
could have
yeah.
been something between us, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, because it often is something. It often is something deeper.
Yeah. And that makes sense. And then you bring it back to the father son in this case, or the parent kid in that situation, which could tell us a lot and exactly what we need to hear. That's good. Okay.
I wish I didn't say pause, man. I was too.
No, I didn't know if I would need
Let's
to
just
go
do it
that way,
again.
but I was like that's the
No,
way
let's
I
do
would
it.
have.
Let's do it again.
No,
Let's do
no,
it.
no,
Take
we're
2. Let's
fine.
do it again. Okay. All right, ready? Here's the next one. Okay, now I love to talk about this. Do you like getting evites to parties, Jordan?
I mean, instead of what, like an actual invite in the mail? I mean, if someone invites me something, I'm like, oh, thanks for inviting me. That's cool.
Yeah, it feels
Yeah, it
good,
feels
right?
great.
To get an evite.
Yeah.
But you know what? Most of the time, if you get an evite, it's going to be kind of cool. It's trying to woo you to come to their party. So when you think about the avoidant child, or someone who struggles with that level of intimacy, think of it like an evite. You want to woo them into the conversation like this. Hey, I was thinking, how about this? I know the game's over, but how about next week after the game, I'll pick you up, or we'll go over to the favorite restaurant you want. And just, you can tell me more about your life and about the game. You pick the restaurant. Or how about this? Hey, I'd love to talk with you about your new boyfriend. I love you. And it will be a safe conversation. I will not say anything judgmental. I just want to listen. It'll
Okay.
be really safe for you. Or, hey, you know what? I know you don't want to talk about what happened with your cousin, but when you're ready, please. And you actually did this. You actually gave us an example at the beginning of this episode. Hey, guys, I know you want to lie to me, and that's normal. You're not, there's nothing wrong with you, but just just know, you can talk to me. You won't be in trouble. And I want to hear the truth. Let's talk it out. See, you did that. You wooed them into emotional safety and to a good
Ooh,
e-bike.
that's good. Wooing
No,
them.
you
I
did
didn't
it.
even know that was the
You
thing
did
I
it.
did. I was just like,
It's
I don't want
super
you to lie.
wooful.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, get your woo
Ooh, I
on.
saw you hugging that girl over there. She's so cute. I can't wait to hear about whatever. And maybe that'll let them tell you
Yeah,
about the
I try
relationship
to woo.
someday.
That's I've got
Yeah, how do you
I
do
got
that with
my two
girls
oldest
with
daughters.
like,
Well,
oh, I got a
yes,
boy I like. Ooh, that's gotta be tough.
it's tough. It's tough. You got to parent the child you have, not the child you want. So yeah, I use number 6 a lot with my kids to woo them. Tool number 6 is share positive feelings. So for example, hey, I just want to say thank you for talking to me about what happened with you and your cousin. I feel really connected with you and I love it. Hey, option 2. Hey, you know what? One of my favorite things in life, you may not know this. One of my favorite things in the whole world is just going out to Baskin and Robbins with you, getting some cookies and cream, and just listening to you talk about your life. That's it. Some people say, oh, I dream of a Ferrari, or I dream of having a mansion, or I just can't wait to go to Hawaii or to the Bahamas. I dream of this.
Ye-
It means so much to me to just have these moments with you. I feel connected. I feel loved. See, you're just opening up what's true in your heart.
Yeah.
And that
I
works,
just
dude. This is a good
does it?
tool.
I mean, it just feels awkward. Like you want to be a dorky parent. You want to be a cool parent. Like you said, it's cool to give them a high
Yeah.
five and just move on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you coming to me with all these emotions, I'm be like, gosh, dad, get a
Hey,
grip, you
hey,
know?
there's 10 tools, right? Good point. There's 10 tools. Use the ones you want
Okay, all right, all right.
and you put them in your own terminology. You know what I mean? Put them in your own terminology. Like, dude, check this out. On Sunday, I'm going to go to one of those fast car racing tracks where you race cars around the track on indoor.
Oh, okay. You're going to be racing yourself.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
here's why I'm going.
Okay.
Because my 14-year-old daughter has a boyfriend and he's having a birthday party. And here's who's invited to the party: his parents, his sister, his girlfriend, who's my daughter,
Right.
and us.
Parents.
That's it.
That's cool.
How cool is
That's
that?
very
How
cool.
cool is
That's
that?
very intimate. That's
Two
what you want.
families.
That's what you want.
That's a dream, dude.
That's a dream.
I mean, dude, that's a dream. Two families coming together to celebrate a 15-year-old young man on his birthday.
And what do you
And
do
I'm
if it's
invited
what
to
if
the
it's
party.
what if it's you and him neck and neck coming to the end? I mean, are you gonna let
Oh,
him
I'm gonna
win?
crush
You're
him.
gonna,
I gotta crush him
you're gonna
on his
crush him.
birthday.
All right, all right.
You're right. You're
You
right.
gotta let him
Actually,
win.
I
You
should.
should
You
let
know
him
what?
win.
I'm gonna let him win.
Yeah, you gotta let
Good
him win.
call,
You
dude.
gotta-
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you. But no, this is the thing. I use positive words like this. Like, Miley, I just am so proud of you that you chose for your first boyfriend somebody so healthy,
Yeah.
somebody who really cares about you. I can see why he really likes you, Miley. You're just so beautiful inside and out. And I just love that I can trust you. And I just want you to know you can trust me. You can trust me. You can tell me anything about what's going on with you or Ace or whoever you date, and you can trust me.
Yeah.
I'm gonna respond well. See, these positive words go a long way. That's not cheesy,
No,
man.
that's sweet. I mean, you can make it cheesy, but no, that's sweet. That's a good
All
thing
right.
to say.
All right. Number seven. Tool number 7: share your negative feelings with your kids, which I've already proven to you. There's empirical research that says, hey, do some role playing with me. Okay. Pick a scenario. So can you tell me, like, what's going on? Tell me a little bit about what's going on in your life. Just shut me down.
Nothing. I mean, I go to school, I have my job, and I come home and do my homework, and I play
All right.
lacrosse. It's fine.
Right, now start getting a little salty with me. I know, but can you tell me some details? Like, how your friends? Are you dating anyone?
They're fine. I mean, there's nothing. There's nothing crazy about them. They're normal people. I got a normal job. I got normal school. Okay, I'm stressed, but it's fine. I got homework. Leave me alone.
Okay, okay, yeah, get a little meaner now.
Okay, leave me
Well, I
alone.
don't want to leave you alone.
Dude,
I
you're
want
being
to
so
talk.
annoying. Just
I
leave.
want to
Let me
talk.
have
But no,
some
can you
chill
please
time.
talk?
Sure.
No, I give you so much chill time.
Okay, what do you
But
want me
I
to talk
want to know
about?
you.
You want to
Please,
talk
you don't
about
open
my
up anymore.
differential math equations that I had to do today? Do you want me to give you
It's
some
so
math?
good.
Like,
No, I don't care about that. I want to know you, son. I want to know what's going on with
well,
you.
let's see. I'm 17 years old, and I have a brother and a sister, and I go to school, and I have a job, and I play sport, and I come here, and then I have to listen to this. I just want to like chill out and play my
Okay.
video game.
Okay. I will honor your boundaries. But before we go, can I share one last thing with you?
No.
Okay. I want to share something with you. So please let me know when I can share. I want to share a feeling with you.
Okay, we just maybe write it down and put it under put it in under my door, and I'll read it later.
Okay, I'll write you a letter then. I'll
Okay.
write you a letter.
Okay.
And here's what the letter's going to say. I'm just feeling really sad. Really sad.
Is that it?
I'll write you a letter. I want you to know that I'm feeling sad and shut out of your life. And I'm feeling unloved.
Okay.
Okay, so when you're ready to talk about that, I can write you a letter if you want. Please let me know.
Okay.
Okay. All right, so that was a little messy, role playing.
That was good though. I mean, I see where you're coming from, but I mean,
did you see I shared my
I
negative
was just trying
feelings?
to be a really defiant kid.
You were good.
I just wanted to freaking get you out of my
That's
face.
totally that. See, we're always teaching people how we want to be treated. So if you've got a teenager who is talking to you the way Jordan was just role playing, it means you've taught him or her that this is okay to shut my parent out like that, call them names, dehumanize them.
Yeah.
And so one of the ways you remedy that is not by punishing them, spanking them, or taking a screen away.
Right.
One tool you have in your toolbox is this tool number 7 here, is you share your feelings. I'm feeling sad.
Yeah.
I'm feeling shut out. And I even used a larger word. I'm feeling unloved here. Mm-hmm. And did you see how Jordan just stopped?
Right.
Because you're sharing feelings. And that's how parents feel. Jordan, we've got millions of parents who feel shut out and they feel sad about it. And I'm just telling you, share your feelings with your kids.
That's
and watch
good.
Good things happen.
That's really good. Okay? Yep. Feeling unloved.
Okay, I got 3 more. We'll do them. Here we go. Do an activity with them. Enter their world. You want your kid to open up with you and talk with you about their life? Good. Well, then start playing Minecraft with them.
Yeah.
Take them, go and enjoy her cheer camp. You know, take her to the mall. Spend some money on her, on him. Spend some time in their world and don't make it about you. And that might really be an effective tool, right?
Yeah. So everyone knows I'm a big movie buff. There's a movie called What Women Want. It's got Mel Gibson, OG old school Mel Gibson, right? When he was in his prime.
OG, yes.
Lethal Weapon in his prime. And he can actually hear what women think in this movie. It's really good, right? It's so funny. So there's he has a teenage daughter who can't stand him because he was never there for her life. And he has to watch her while the mom's gone. And he can hear what she thinks. Right. And so he uses that to his advantage. But basically, one of the ones is like, let's go shopping. Because in her mind, she was like, Mosh, you don't spend any money on me. You don't care about me. And he's like, you know what? I just thought we'd go shopping today. And it totally changed the idea of like what it means to be a dad for her.
So good. So good. Tool number 9, make a good deal. Go ahead. Ask me to buy you new cleats. Action.
Dad, I want some new shoes. Actually, let's do tennis shoes. Dad, can you give me some Jordans?
Oh, well, you already have like 5 pairs of shoes.
Yeah, but Dad, everyone's got Jordans. I want some Jordans. That's what the cool kids are wearing. And a Stanley Cup.
That's cool.
I need a Stanley Cup.
You already have 7 of them.
I need the pink. The pink is in.
Honey. Okay, child, teen, daughter, teen, son. I'm down for getting you these things, but can we maybe make a deal?
Okay, yeah. What can we do?
Well, let's make a deal. You get something you want, like Jordans or a Stanley Cup. And I get something I want, which is quality time with you. Can we make a deal?
Sure. What do you want to do?
Yeah. Well, how's this sound? Okay. I got some leaves in the backyard.
This is quality time, leaves?
Yeah. So how about you this Saturday, you spend an hour out there with me, cleaning up the leaves from the fall. And then afterwards, we'll get a sandwich. And we'll talk about life. You can open up to me about your life, your feelings, how things are going. And then I want you to shut this down, Jordan. Say, no, it's stupid. Just take me to buy the shoes. That's your line. Okay. And then afterwards, we'll head over to the mall and we'll get you some new kicks, some Jordans.
Dude, Dad, no, I'm not. Leaves, fine. But sitting and going to eat and talking to you, no, we don't need. Just give me the Jordans. I'll do the dang leaves and we'll be on our way.
No deal. No,
Fine. I don't even want the Stanley Cup. Just the Jordans.
Okay. Son, I'm different than you. I feel things different than you. I want different things in you. And one of the things I want is I want to know you. I want to know what you're thinking about, your feelings, how you're coping with all this stuff that's going on. So can we please make a deal? We both get something we want. You get the Jordans, and I get some quality time opening up. Say, fine, we'll go to lunch, but I'm not opening up. Say
Fine, we'll go eat some lunch, but I'm not going to open up. That's weird.
that. No deal then. Why would I buy you Jordans, which would be loving to you, but what about me?
Wait, what about pause? Can we at that moment say, all right, fine, let's just do the leaves, let's go to lunch, and let's see where the conversation takes us, and then we'll see if we can get the Jordans after, and just kind of take it in steps.
You? But son, I've been really working on this with you. To open up and to tell me some things. And you don't got to tell me every secret in the world, but just throw me something. Tell me a little bit about this topic or about that topic. Let me in. Can we make a deal, please?
All right. Yeah. Okay. That's good.
If you had a prickly teenager in your life, let's making a deal is a great tool, man.
Okay.
It's not manipulative at all.
Nope.
It's done with wellness. It's done with jolliness and positivity and normalcy.
I like it. Let's make a deal.
Okay, good. Okay, I got one more tool for you. Recently, a wise man once told me this, that one of the best ways to get a teenager to open up was for you to open up and for you to share vulnerable stories about your life, about your feelings. That was you. You're the wise man.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Right? Because remember you said that with one of your family members?
Yeah, I did.
So you go. Tell us a little bit more about how do you open up as a way of getting someone else to open up. You said that. That's
I think, I know that relationship has had some turmoil, but I don't believe the kids do. So in my thinking is if I'm sharing, if I want to hear what's going on in my kids' lives, I kind of need to share what's happened in my life that is vulnerable so they can understand and maybe be more willing. Because right now kids are like, Dad, you don't even know what it's like to blah, 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 blah. And you're like, I guess you're right.
If you were watching this on our YouTube channel, you'd see Jordan's face right there. That was classic.
These kids are kind of right because I've never shared that with them. Maybe I should share it. You know what? One time, me and your mom went to Vegas and we don't remember what. No, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, just like be open to them.
Dude, one time I went to Vegas and I got in a car with a drunk driver, a stranger I just met.
Dude, I did that in Mexico. Not smart.
Oh, no, don't do this, kids. We both, with a stranger,
complete stranger. Like, sit in the back of the truck. Like, what are you doing?
Oh my gosh, we were partying. My college roommate, Oscar, and I, we were partying with some people in Vegas. And there was a couple of girls, and they had a couple of guy friends with them. We were connecting with the girls. I'm like, hey, do you want to come back to the house? We're like, yeah. So we get in their pickup truck, and I'm driving with some freaking drunk driver, 21-year-old. And I'm like, what have I done? What have I done? Oh, what have I done? And then it's just more bad stuff happened after that. I don't want to get into that right now. But that's 11. That's 10 tools, man. Those are some good tools.
Those are
if
some
you need
good
more
tools.
than that, join me in my VIP membership. And these are great tools, everybody. And for most of you, this is going to work.
Okay,
These tools will work.
Keep at it.
For most situations, keep at it. Be patient, be loving, have a good tone, and keep at it, okay?
We want to hear your success stories, too. And, you know what? And if you don't have success stories, definitely share those because Sean can help specifically.
Now, a couple more quick tools before we go, if they don't work, though. Because you said, we talked about this.
If it doesn't work, that's what I'm saying. Just keep at it. What do we do other than contact you?
Here's some quick tools. Okay. Contact me, number one. Number two is just keep at it and say, what is happening between me and you? Be patient with that.
Keep it between us.
Help them understand this is a symptom of a relationship problem. Like you want more than this, all right? Tip 3, have passion.
Okay.
You started hearing that from me. Like, what is going on? Sometimes that's what you need. Kids love drama. You have to raise your voice. I want you to be close. I want us to be close. I want to talk. Okay. I can't handle this anymore. Please. Like, don't give up. Get weird. Get passionate. Sometimes it's the parents who struggle with avoidance and they don't know how to get passionate. So their kid doesn't even know that they want to talk. Doesn't that make sense?
Yeah. Like you
They
could
don't
drop them
know
off at school in the minivan and when they're getting out with all their friends, be like, honey, I can't wait, and just do something completely embarrassing so that they have
anything.
to talk to you.
Do something weird to get their attention. You'd be
Yeah.
shocked at how many kids out there, they would say, do you think your parents want to talk to you? They want to know. And their answer would be like, no. Well,
Yeah.
why not? Because they don't really ask.
Right.
They
That's
don't
good.
ask. All right. Tip 3 is very, very powerful. We're always teaching people how you want to be treated. So if your kid is stonewalling you, shutting down, giving you one word answers, and then you move on, you take them to soccer, you make them a Hot Pocket, you buy them Nikes, you buy them a Stanley. What message, Jordan, are these parents sending to their kid? What message are they sending?
That these other things are more important than the
Yep.
communication between their kids.
Yep. Your kid stonewalls you, shuts you down, and then you take them to soccer practice. You're sending a message.
Yeah.
Soccer is more important in this family than us being close. So, tip 3 would be stop moving on and stop pretending that everything is okay
And that it doesn't bother you. Okay.
and that it doesn't bother you. You can accept this without enable it. So, stop enabling this shutdown, stonewalling pattern.
All right.
All right. Tip number 4, invitation to make amends. Look, I really want to work this out. Something has happened here, and if I need to apologize, if I need to change, if I need to do my part, I want to make this right. So you taking ownership
Ownership as the adult. Okay.
as the adult. Should I keep
Yes.
going? We good?
Yeah, we're good. This is
All
good.
right. Tip 5, invitation to comfort. Hey, I feel like there's something happening here, and I just want you to know I love you. And if you don't want to talk, we don't need to talk. But I want to comfort you. I want to be there for you. I want to fix what was wrong. I want to heal what's broken. And I'm patient. So becoming a comforter is
Yeah.
oftentimes what
That helps.
the avoidant parent needs. It's like an evite. So stop forcing it. Instead, being patient and comforting, not as a way of enabling, but as a way of healing.
It's hard too because I've had that before where I've lied about something and then I'll have someone come to me and be like, hey, if you did this, that's okay. I'm not going to be mad. And I'm like,
Yeah,
well, I
exactly.
just lied about it and they're saying it's going to be okay. But now I have to lie about it even more. But
Yeah,
they're saying it's
right.
okay. So maybe it's okay
Right.
for me to say it.
And then tip number 6 is, remember, parenting is never about what it's about. And one of the things that is often happening if you have avoidance or shutting down is the relationship is lacking trust. So instead of trying to heal this with X, Y, or Z, talk to your child about trust. I want you to be able to trust me, that you can tell me these things. I want to be able to trust you that you're going to be opening up with these things, that we can work this way. So solve the problem by enhancing the vocabulary and the psychology of trust in your relationship. All
Man,
right,
it's
that's
like
some tips, man.
I need to have like a notepad so I can remember because half the
There's
time
a lot.
I never remember that word trust. I'm like, gosh, it's such an important word to
It is.
use all the
We did a
time.
lot. Well, we did a lot today. We did a lot today, and I'm grateful. I'm grateful that I had the painful childhood that I had at times. Times it was great, and I'm grateful, Jordan, that I had that painful time in my early 20s, where I was a young man and I made mistakes and I hurt people and I was hurt because of all those pain that I went through. That led me to do the work, man, the inner work that we're doing right now on this podcast to become healed, to become healthy, mature adults. So I'm thankful for a painful past, which is helping us to be who we are today. Tell us as we wrap
Yes.
up our show, what are
And
you
I'm
thankful for?
thankful for that same idea, maybe painful past or, these stories that we have in our past. And we can use them to get closer to our kids. So
Yeah.
use those stories that could be painful to open up yourself so that they will open up with you.